Avast, ye North Pole ice monsters, and welcome to Dead and Buried Treasures. I, of course, am Calico Drake, at your service, captain of the Swashbuckler's Haunt, the most feared pirate ship in all of the 7 seas and 3 rivers, right here from me home port in Pittsburgh. And every weekend, I bring you the absolute worst in monster movie mayhem every Friday and Saturday night at 11 p.m.
Right here, after you change the channel from your local news.
That's right, Jack, on our Fright Network. And tonight, we bring you our special Christmas show.
And boy, it's a scary one, Captain. Is it snowing?
Aye, that's what I hear, Jack. And I see you decorated your perch and getting yourself into the holiday spirit.
You bet I have. Even pirates love Santa Claus.
Ah, that's a good first mate, getting into the spirit of it all. And me, well, isn't it enough I'm all gooped up in this cackle fruit outfit, dressed up like St. Nicholas himself? Could I look any more ridiculous? I look like a court jester, or more like Jack Sparrow. Where's the producer?
Come on, Captain. Stick to the script.
Script. Glass. Okay. Hold. I guess it is the holidays after all, so. Okay, put the glasses, right? Okay. The things I do for this show. Stick to the teleprompter, right? Okay. That's a good first mate, getting into the spirit. All right, here we go again. And speaking of spirits now, I've never seen it, but I'm told tonight's movie is an extra scary one about an old miser who's visited by 3 supernatural spirits that threaten to take him back to the other side, if you know what I mean, and if he doesn't clean up his ways.
That's not exactly what happens, Captain.
No ghosts?
There's ghosts, all right.
Well, excellent. That's why we present you mateys at home with a drum roll, Jack. A drum roll. Never mind. A Christmas carol. To get yourselves into the holiday spirit. Although with a name like Christmas Carol, it doesn't really sound as intimidating as I had feared. But I do like the main character's name, Ebenezer Scrooge. Now that's frightful.
Oh, it is, Captain, and you sound as though you're in a terrific mood.
I am, Jack. I finally found me holiday spirit.
Was it in that sweater?
I don't know if it's the whistling wind of December, or the snow out on the Youghiogheny, or my cold and black heart.
Did you say you had a black and gold heart, Captain?
But it is beginning to look a lot like Christmas, eh, Jack?
I would say it began the moment you put that sweater on.
Well, it's not so much a sweater as it is me Santa suit, to get me and the crew and the mateys out there in the holiday spirit. This is ridiculous, Jack. don't be starting all your jibber jabber either. You're me band leader on this late night, midnight movie, not Beyonce.
Please, stick to the script. We're already behind. Remember the curse we talked about in the last episode.
Yeah. For the mateys. All right. Hoist that sail, you eggnog drinking snowman. Tighten that jib, you frosty elf. We're setting sail once again for the island of dead and buried treasure.
The catacombs of fear! The catacombs of fear! Captain, wouldn't it be easier to keep these films on the ship?
Aye, Jack, but as you can already guess, the curse that affects us also affects these buried treasures.
Dead and buried treasures.
Now, give me just a minute. Not as young as I used to be. You see, we can only remove them from the vault one at a time, and for a limited time at that, Jack. Only for the weekend haunt. All right, I'm going in. I'm sweating my arse off out here. And here we are, mateys. At long last, prepare yourself for a scare. I'm told this one is really scary and full of the supernatural.
The Dickens, you say?
This one, I'm told, is one of the scariest ones I've seen in a long time. Here we go. And as you can see, there are thousands of these chests in these catacombs, and they all have the official pirate seal of approval. Tonight's movie's a thriller, kids. And you'd think that these doubloons and coins and jewels would count more than the film itself. But you'd be wrong, because tonight's movie is an adventure. Take a look, kids. Regarded as one of the many best adaptations of the Dickens classic, get ready for Ebenezer Scrooge and Jacob Marley tonight on Dead and Buried Treasures.
Do the thing, Captain, do the thing!
Aye, Jack, you be right on that one. And now it's time to do what we do best. So, wake the kids and phone the neighbors. As we confide in our haunted film projector, this is Alistair Sims in A Christmas Carol.
distinctly understood, or nothing wonderful can come of the story I am going to relate. The register of his burial was signed by Scrooge, and Scrooge's name was good on the London Exchange for anything he chose to put his hand to. Ah, Mr. Scrooge.
Your servant, sir.
Are you off home to keep Christmas?
I am not in the habit of keeping Christmas, sir.
Then why are you leaving so early?
Because, sir, Christmas is a habit of keeping men from doing business.
Come, it's the nature of things that ants toil and grasshoppers sing and play, Mr. Scrooge.
An ant is what it is, and a grasshopper is what it is, and Christmas, sir, is a humbug. Good day.
Mr. Scrooge, sir.
Who are you?
Samuel Wilkins, sir.
Oh, yes. You owe me a little matter of 20-odd pounds, I believe. Well, if you want to pay it, come to my place of business. I don't conduct my affairs in the teeth of inclement weather.
I can't pay you, sir.
I'm not surprised.
Unless you give me more time.
Did I ask you for more time to lend you the money?
Oh, no, sir.
Then why should you ask me for more time to pay it back?
I can't take my wife to a debtor's prison.
Then leave her behind. Why should she go to a debtor's prison anyway? She didn't borrow the £20, you did. Huh. What has your wife got to do with it? For that matter, what have I got to do with it? Good afternoon.
But Mr. Scrooge, it's Christmas!
Christmas has even less to do with it, my dear sir, than your wife has or I have. You'd still owe me £20 and you're not in a position to repay if it was the middle of a heat wave and August bank holiday. Good afternoon.
Be off with you.
Hello. Have I the pleasure of addressing Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?
Mr. Marley has been dead these 7 years. In fact, he died 7 years ago this very day.
Well, we have no doubt that his generosity is well represented by his surviving partner. At this festive season of the year, Mr. Scrooge, it is more than usually desirable that we should make some slight provision for the poor and destitute.
Are there no prisons?
Plenty of prisons.
And the union workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are. I wish I could say they were not.
And the treadmill and the poor law, they're still in full vigor, I presume?
Both very busy, sir.
Oh, from what you said at first, I was afraid that something had happened to stop them in their useful course. I'm very glad to hear it.
I don't think you quite understand us, sir. A few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and means of warmth.
Why?
Because it is at Christmas time that want is most keenly felt and abundance rejoices. What can I put you down for?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous.
I wish to be left alone. Since you ask me what I wish, sir, that is my answer. I help to support the establishments I have mentioned. Those who are badly off must go there.
Many can't go there.
And some would rather die.
If they would rather die, they'd better do it and decrease the surplus population. Besides, it's not my business.
Isn't it, sir?
No. It is enough for a man to understand his own business without interfering with other people's. Mine occupies me constantly. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Who's that?
Your nephew, Uncle.
That's you, is it? Well, what do you want?
Neither to borrow money or beg a mortgage, Uncle. Only to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Keep Christmas in your own way and leave me to keep it in mine.
But you don't keep it.
Then let me leave it alone then. Much good may do you to keep it. Much good it has ever done you.
It certainly done me no harm.
No, your wayward nature has done that. And your marriage?
My marriage was the making of me.
The ruin of you, you mean?
Why don't you come and see for yourself if you won't take my word for it? Come and dine with us tomorrow.
No, thank you.
But why? Why?
Why did you marry against my wishes?
Because I fell in love.
You fell in love with a woman as penniless as yourself. Oh, good evening.
We've never had any quarrel that I've ever been party to. I asked nothing of you. I came here in the spirit of right goodwill, and I won't let you dampen it. So a Merry Christmas to you anyway, Uncle.
Good evening.
And a Happy New Year.
Good evening. Humbug!
How is Mrs. Cratchit and all the small assorted Cratchits?
Very well, sir, thank you.
All champing at the bit for Christmas to begin, eh?
Oh, yes, sir. All very eager.
And the little lame boy, which one is he?
Tim, sir.
That's right. How is he?
Oh, we're in high hopes. He's getting better, sir.
Good. A Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you, sir, and a Merry Christmas to you, sir, I'm sure.
Thank you.
Tim, my dear, I've got the goose. Did you have a lovely time looking at all the wonderful things?
Yes, thank you, Mama. Did you get a big goose?
Yes, the biggest goose you ever did see. As big as you and as fat as a beetle. Wait till your father sees it. His eyes will pop right out of his head and he'll forget all about horrid old Mr. Scrooge. You're not feeling too tired, are you, dear?
Not a bit, Mama.
If your father was here, he'd carry you home on his shoulder.
Yes, I love having a ride on his shoulder.
Yes, but old Mr. Scrooge will keep him working in that cold little room just as late as he possibly can. Christmas Eve or no Christmas Eve, the old ogre.
You'll want the whole day off tomorrow, I suppose.
If quite convenient, sir.
Not convenient. And it's not fair. If I stopped you half a crown for it, you'd think yourself ill-used, wouldn't you, But you don't think me ill-used if I pay a day's wages for no work, do you,
It is only once a year, sir.
It's a poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December.
Yes, I'm sure I'm very sorry, sir, to cause you such an inconvenience. It's the family more than me, sir. They put their hearts into Christmas, as it were, sir.
Yes, and put their hands into my pocket, as it were, sir. I suppose you better have the whole day. But be back all the earlier next morning.
I will indeed, sir. Thank you, sir. It's more than generous of you, sir.
Yes, I know it is. You don't have to tell me.
A Merry Christmas, sir.
A Merry Christmas, sir. You, a clerk, and 15 shillings a week with a wife and a family, talking about a Merry Christmas. I'll retire to Bedlam. Waiter.
Yes.
More bread.
Halfpenny extra, sir.
No more bread.
Yes.
All right, who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Jacob Marley.
Oh. What do you want with me? In that case, can you sit down?
I can.
Well, do it then.
You don't believe in me.
I don't.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Because a little thing affects them. A slight disorder of the stomach makes them cheat. You might be an undigested bit of beef, a piece of cheese, a fragment of an underdone potato. There's more of gravy than of grave in you, whatever you are. Do you see that toothpick?
I do.
You're not looking at it.
But I see it, notwithstanding.
Oh. Well then, I've just got to swallow this and I'd be tortured for the rest of my life by a legion of hobgoblins. All of my own creation. It's all humbug, I tell you. Mercy to me.
Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me or not?
I do. I must. But why do you walk the earth? And why do you come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men. If it goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It is doomed to wander through the world. And witness what it cannot share, but might have shared on earth, and turn to happiness.
Why are you fed up?
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I girded it on of my own free will and of my own free will. I wore it.
You have my sympathy.
You do not know the weight and length of strong chain you bear yourself. It was full as heavy and as long as this 7 Christmas Eves ago, and you have labored on it since. It is a ponderous chain. Mark me! In life my spirit never roved beyond the limits of our money-changing home. Now I am doomed to wander without rest or peace. Incessant torture of remorse.
But it was only that you were a good man of business, Jacob.
Business! Mankind was my business. Their common welfare was my business. And it is at this time of the rolling year I suffer most. Hear me, my time is nearly gone. I come tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate. A chance and hope of my procuring Ebenezer.
Thank you, Jacob. You were always a good friend of mine.
You will be visited by 3 spirits.
What? Was that the chance of hope that you mentioned, Jacob?
It was.
Oh, well, in that case, never mind. I think I'd rather not.
Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first when the bell tolls 1. Look to see me no more. But look here, that you may remember for your own sake what has passed between us.
Why do they lament?
They seek to interfere for good in human matters and have lost their power forever.
Well, it looks like this week's movie's off to a wonderful start, Jack. Ghosts and hauntings aplenty. No more mush. Just the thing to jumpstart me heart for a rollicking adventure for the holiday season.
Captain?
Yes, Jack, what is it?
You realize this isn't your typical ghost story, right?
Yes, of course I do. It sure isn't. Not from the stuff we've been showing around here. No more bargain basement television. We finally got a classic. So far, that is. So far, I don't want to jinx it, but that Jacob Marley can be me new first mate anytime.
Wait. First mate?
Now he's got him so scared out of his wits. That's how you run a tight ship, Jack. That's how you run a tight ship.
I thought I was the first mate.
Well, make room, Jack. This Jacob Marley has all the right stuff.
Well, Captain, what about me?
Oh, don't worry, Jack. The curse is still active. You can still be me navigator. That hasn't changed.
Navigator?
Right. Just as always, you get us to the island of dead and buried treasures. I get us into the catacombs of fear, just like always.
So I'm being replaced?
Oh, Jack, I could never replace you.
Oh, good. You had me going there.
Think of it more like being downsized.
Downsized? But this is Christmas.
Right, and a merry one too, just as soon as I get this Jacob Marley on my crew.
Captain, have you ever seen A Christmas Carol?
No, but if the rest of the movie is as good as I've seen so far, Marley's got the job. No worries.
No worries. That sounds great.
Good.
We'll just see where the rest of the movie takes us.
Right. Oh, and Jack, thank you for being so cooperative. No one likes entrenched management.
No, of course. I understand.
In fact, I feel like giving something away. Let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll have some movie trivia early tonight. I'm finally in the Christmas spirit. And we owe it all to Jacob Marley. Do we have any eggnog on the ship, Jack?
Yes. We'll be right back, mateys, for some Christmas presents. I'm sure the captain will love them, especially when he sees how this movie ends.
We asked, and you responded.
Oh my god, I think your Jeff and TV thing is so awesome. I just want to let you know I think it's great for our kids and our community to be able to participate and see ourselves on TV. So, thanks.
Good morning. This is Puff, and I'm watching the program. I think it is absolutely marvelous. Something of that nature brought to light. It is so entertaining and so wonderful, and it's surely delightful. So good luck to you in the future, and keep on programming the bloodier, the ghoulier, the better. I love it. Remarkable. Bless you.
Why, hello, Dead and Buried Treasures. I just wanted to call and leave a message that I was very impressed by your show. It's very well done, and it might be one of the best locally produced programs I've ever seen. It reminded me of the old Chiller Theater in the 80s with Chilly Billy, and I absolutely love your show. I tell everybody about it. I even had my friends over, some kids, and my grandchildren over a couple of Fridays back when it was on, and we all gathered around and made popcorn like the old days and had some fun watching some television as a family. So I thought it was very well done, and Captain Drake is very funny, and the parrot is hilarious. Well written, well crafted, very good show. Keep it up, Dead and Buried Treasures.
There are no further messages.
Operators are standing by. Call now.
Look, okay, it's not my fault.
I bet nothing's ever your fault, is it, darling?
What?
You have thrown away your life working in some silly Christmas shop.
Baby, don't cry.
Hey, Elf! This is my little helper. I have nicknamed her Lazy the Elf because she appears never to work.
Father, if only Christmas, get me out of here.
What?
Jesus, where'd you come from?
Well, what are you looking at?
Might be a falcon.
Oh, damn it!
I think it just pooed in your eye.
Yeah, I think so.
It's good luck, you know.
What is?
Get pooed on by bird.
I'm busy, you're weird. Goodbye.
You've missed 5 doctor's appointments. Mum is scared.
So, tell me about sleep.
She never sleeps.
Exercise?
Religiously.
Not at all.
Alcohol?
Oh, she's
once in a
drinking
while.
like the pirate.
Well, okay, fine. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much for your time. Let's go, Mum.
Oh, you! Again.
What do you mean again?
Did you follow me here?
Are elves always so cynical?
Yes, relentlessly. These are dark times.
I'm Tom.
Kate.
Last Christmas. Here we are.
Is this the bit where you murder me?
So what is it that you do?
I sing.
Oh, it's amazing.
Anyway, boring.
I'm not bored.
You are so strange. Where are you going?
Why in there?
Well, you're not homeless.
No, I volunteer here.
Why didn't you just get Satan tattooed on your forehead?
You were great at your job when you started, but now it's like you don't care anymore.
Hi. Hi.
Can I help?
I'm a mess. I was really sick and I nearly died. I don't tell people because they get weird, but I don't think you'll get weird.
No.
I'm just scared all the time. They just expect me to be normal and get on with life.
There's no such thing as normal. Just being a human being is hard. Maybe you should do something nice for someone.
Deck the halls with bells of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly.
Oh boy.
I've been volunteering at the shelter.
Seriously?
That sounds like a healthy choice. What's wrong with you?
I've been trying to find you, but you keep disappearing. And then when I do bump into you, accidentally, I might add.
It wasn't accidental.
Why me?
It's always going to be you. You like? You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. You're made of everything you do.
You can't be in here! No, we're leaving!
Yo-ho! Yo-ho!
Don't miss the absolute worst in monster movie mayhem on Dead and Buried Treasures. Weekends at 11. That's Friday and Saturday nights beginning at 11 and going until roughly 2:30 a.m. Right here on your local Fright Network affiliate, our flagship station, BPTV.
Ha! It's like dinner and a show, Jack. A night at the opera.
And don't miss our Fright Network pre-show at 10:30, where Fiore from the movie review show Outtakes with Fiore and series creator Eric Sprouse take you for a behind-the-scenes tour with insight into making each episode. Plus, your chance to win even more horrific prizes each week.
Pretty good stuff, don't you think? What do you think?
So wake the kids and phone the neighbors this weekend and every Friday and Saturday night at 11 with our pre-show live at 10:30 on this Fright Network affiliate and our Facebook and YouTube pages.
There are just so many people to thank on such a long list.
If you dare.
Care to play, Jack?
If you're a fan of horror films, here is tonight's trivia question brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Welcome back, mateys. And let's get right to it. Christmas is here, and I feel generous tonight. How about some movie trivia to win some spooktacular prizes?
I like the sound of it, Captain.
Aye, I thought you might, Jack. That's why you're me navigator and Jacob Marley is going to be me quartermaster. The first mate.
Right. I can never not hear that, Drake.
I thought you might, Jack. I just need a way to tell Mr. Bones about the navigator position. But no matter, I'll get to that later. Let's get to the legal stuff for the trivia contest first. Mr. Bones! Get us through the legal stuff, you see-through powder monkey!
Now remember, mateys, if you attempt to answer the trivia question, you are allowing us to use your name on our Fright Network. The first correct answer is the winner, with one winner chosen each week. To be eligible, all submissions have to be emailed before the show is over, and no entries will be accepted once the show concludes. Your horrific prize can be picked up during regular business hours at BPTV in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. All unclaimed prizes not picked up within 2 weeks of the show's original air date will be forfeited. Prizes for Movie Trivial will only be offered during a show's original broadcast and will not be offered during encore performances or repeats of shows. That includes Saturday Night Mateys. Employees of BPTV, Comcast, and PCTV are not eligible. Captain?
Ah, me hearties, here's this week's trivia challenge. And the winner receives a $50 wing party pack brought to you by the folks at Buffalo Wild Wings. In 1999's Blair Witch Project, how many college filmmakers go into the woods to actually search for the Blair Witch? And here's a little clue. The same number. Don't make it out. Now, if you know the answer, drop me an email to deadandburiedtreasures@yahoo.com. That's deadandburiedtreasures@yahoo.com. The question again. In 1999's Blair Witch Project, how many college filmmakers go into the woods and actually search for the Blair Witch? And like I said, mateys, if it helps, here's a clue. The same number. They don't make it out. Spoiler alert! Now, if you know the answer, drop me an email once again at deadandburiedtreasures@yahoo.com. That's deadandburiedtreasures@yahoo.com. And as Davy Bones told you, if you're the first correct response, you'll receive a $50 wing party pack from our sponsors and our mateys at Buffalo Wild Wings in Washington, Pennsylvania. And who wouldn't like that? Now, as we last left our movie, my hero, Jacob Marley. As we last left our movie, our hero Jacob Marley was teaching that scrub Scrooge how to be a proper pirate. Wasn't he, Jack?
Oh, he sure was, Captain.
That's right. What's so funny?
Oh, nothing, Captain. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
You know, Jack, if I didn't know any better, I'd think that you know something about this movie that I didn't.
Well, that's what makes me such a good navigator and not a first mate or quartermaster, right, Captain?
Yeah, that'd be right. As for the rest of you scrubs out there, let's get back to Alistair Sims in A Christmas Carol.
Are you the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am.
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past.
Long past?
No, your past.
And what is your business here with me?
Your welfare.
My welfare.
Your reclamation, then. Take heed, rise, and walk with me.
Through the window?
Are you afraid?
I am a mortal and liable to fall.
Bear but a touch of my hand, and you shall be upheld in more than this. You know this place.
Know it. I was a boy here.
They are but shades of the things that have been. They do not know we are here.
Look, there's my old school. How lonely and deserted it looks.
Not quite deserted. A solitary boy, yourself, Ebenezer, forgotten by his friends, is left there still.
I know.
Oh, dear brother, I have come to bring you home. Home, home, home. Yes, home for good and all. Home forever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he used to be that home is like heaven.
For you, perhaps, but not for me. He doesn't know me, nor even what I look like. Same as I hardly know you now that you're quite a woman. Mamma must have looked as you look now just before she died.
Perhaps that is what has changed his mind towards you. He spoke to me so gently one night when I was going to bed that I wasn't afraid to ask him just once more if you might come home. And he said, yes, you should, and sent me in a carriage to bring you. And you're never to come back here anymore. And you're never to be lonely again.
Never to be lonely again.
Never as long as I live.
Well, then you must live forever, Fan. Nobody else ever cared for me. Nobody else ever will. You must live forever, Fan.
Oh, dear brother, what nonsense. Everyone loves you very much. You must forgive Papa and forget the past. For our dearest mother's sake.
Oh, Fan.
Bring down Master Scrooge's box.
Our sister was always a delicate creature whom a breath might have withered, but she had a large heart.
She had.
She died a married woman and had, I think, children.
One child.
True, your nephew.
She died, giving him life.
As your mother died, giving you life, for which your father never forgave you, as if you were to blame.
My son, it's old Fezziwig's. I was apprenticed here. Look, there's old Fezziwig and Mrs. Fezziwig, top couple. Oh, was there ever a kinder man?
And yet, what has this party cost him in your mortal money? 3 or 4 pounds at most. Is that so much that he deserves your praise?
Oh, but it's not that. The happiness he gave to us, his clerks and apprentices, and everybody who knew him, was as great as if it had cost a fortune.
What's the matter?
Nothing.
Something, I think.
No. Just that I'd like to have a word with my own clerk, Bob Cratchit, just now. That's all.
Turn and see yourself in love, Ebenezer Scrooge.
It's only a shilling ring, Alice, but one day it'll be a gold one. When I'm rich enough.
Oh, it's a beautiful ring. Oh, but I mustn't accept it.
Why not? Because it's not good enough for you?
Oh, no.
Because I'm not rich enough for you.
How foolish of you. Of course not. But you're still so young, you may have a change of heart one day.
Oh, dearest Alice, if ever I have a change of heart towards you, it'll be because my heart has ceased to beat.
And it makes no difference that I'm poor.
I love you because you're poor, not proud and foolish.
Will you always feel like that?
As long as I live. Longer. Forever and ever.
Then I accept your ring.
Alice. God bless you, Alice. From now to eternity, we two are as one.
I've seen enough.
Yet more awaits
I won't
you.
look.
You shall. Now see yourself in business, Ebenezer.
Come, Mr. Fezziwig. We're good friends, I think. Besides good men of business, we're men of vision and progress. Why don't you sell out while the going's good? You'll never get a better offer. It's at the age of the machine and the factory and the vested interest. We small traders are old history, Mr. Fezziwig. Dodos.
Yes, I dare say we are. And the offer is a very large one, I have to admit. But it's not just for money alone that one spends a lifetime building up a business, Mr. Jordan.
Well, if it isn't, I'd like you to tell me what you do spend a lifetime building up a business for.
It's to preserve a way of life that one knew and loved. No, I can't see my way to selling out to the new vested interests, Mr. Jorkin. I'll have to be loyal to the old ways and die out with them if needs must.
Well, you know what they say about time and tide, Mr. Fezziwig? They wait for no one.
There's more in life than money, sir.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Fezziwig, sir.
Yes, my boy.
The foreman would appreciate a word with you if you can spare the time, sir.
Yes, of course. Excuse me a moment.
You can't teach an old dog new tricks, can you, Mr. Scrooge? Nor teach the leopard to change its spots.
Well, I think I know what Mr. Fezziwig means, though, sir.
Oh, so you hate progress and money, too, do you?
Well, no, I don't hate them, sir, but, well, perhaps the machines aren't such a good thing for mankind after all.
Sage and onions, my dear fella. Ha! Gammon and spinach. Why, suppose I told you you could get twice the salary old Fezziwig can afford to pay you, and advancement he can't afford to offer you as a clerk in a new company. What would you say to that, eh?
Well, I'd still say money wasn't everything, sir.
Oh, well, if it ain't, I don't know what is. Come and see me someday anyway, young fella. You're smart and you're no fool. That's the kind of buck they're looking for these days.
No, Spirit, not here.
Yes, here.
Van, it's me, your brother. Do you know me?
Ebenezer, I sent for you. Promise me.
Promise you what, Van? I'll promise you anything, dearest. Only that there isn't going to be any need. You're going to get well again, Van.
No.
You are. Dear God, you must. Van, you can't die. Van, you mustn't die. Oh, you're going to get well again, Van. Van, you're going to get well again.
Could you have brought me here? Have you no mercy, no pity?
Ebenezer. Brother. Ebenezer. Promise me you'll take care of my boy. Promise me you'll take
heard her. Forgive me, Fan. Forgive me. Forgive me, Fan. Forgive me, Fan.
Well, there you are, me buck. That's where you start. And you can work your way on up as high as the dome of St. Paul's Cathedral if you've a mind to do so. Control the cash box and you control the world. By the way, how did old Fezziwig take it when you said you were leaving him?
You wish me luck, sir?
No hard feelings, eh? Starting with a clean slate. Good. And now let me introduce you to your fellow clerk, Mr. Marley. Just a moment, please. Mr. Ebenezer Scrooge, the new clerk. Mr. Jacob Marley, our wizard of the accounts.
Your servant, Mr. Marley.
Your servant, Mr. Scrooge.
I'm sure you two gentlemen will get along famously.
I'm sure we shall, Mr. Jorkins, sir.
Yeah. Well, I'll leave you to it.
Thank you. The place no doubt seems new and strange to you.
Somewhat.
The world is on the verge of new and great changes, Mr. Scrooge. Some of them, of necessity, will be violent.
Do you agree? Oh, I think the world's becoming a very hard and cruel place, Mr. Marley. One must steel oneself to survive it, not be crushed under with the weak and the infirm.
I think we have many things in common, Mr. Scrooge.
I hope so, Mr. Marley.
Oh, excuse me, Mr. Scrooge, sir.
Yes?
Pardon the liberty, but do you know find who kept on here, sir?
What's your present salary?
5 shillings a week, sir.
You can stay for 4 shillings a week.
Well, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Isn't that old Fezziwig?
Alice. The same Alice you swore to love to all eternity, Ebenezer. She is not changed by the harshness of the world, but you are.
Then you no longer love me.
You no longer love me.
When have I ever said that?
In words, never.
Well, in what then?
In the way you have changed.
But how have I changed towards you?
By changing towards the world.
But it's such a terrible thing for a man to struggle to be something better than he is.
Another idol has replaced me in your heart. A golden idol.
It's singular. The world that can be so brutally cruel to the poor professes to condemn the pursuit of wealth in the same breath.
You fear the world too much.
With reason. But I am not changed towards you.
Aren't you? Our promise is an old one. It was made when we were both poor and content to be so. If you had never made that promise, tell me, would you seek me out and try to win me now?
Of course I would.
No. If you were free today, would you choose a darless girl with neither wealth nor social standing? You who now weigh everything by gain? It would bring you nothing but repentance and regret. That is why I released you. You know I'm right, then.
I must bow to your conviction that you are.
May you be happy in the life you have chosen.
Thank you. I shall be.
Goodbye.
Show me no more.
But I told you, these were but shadows of the things that have been. That they are what they are, do not blame me.
Take me away.
Very well, but we have not done yet, Ebenezer Scrooge. We do but turn another page. And as your business prospered, Ebenezer Scrooge, a golden idol took possession of your heart, as Alice said it would.
May we hear those figures, Mr. Snedgrid, at your pleasure?
Certainly, Mr. Groper. Well, gentlemen, after 17 years of existence, the Amalgamated Mercantile Society's books show the startling figures of a liability of £3,200, 8 shillings and 10pence, and a total asset of £11, 8 shillings and 10pence.
Well, at least the 10pences cancel each other out.
How much of this is the company's capital?
All of it, Mr. Rosebed.
In short, sir, you're not only a bankrupt, you're an embezzler of the company's funds.
I also beat my wife and skewer innocent babies when in my cups.
Take a very cool attitude, if I may say so, sir.
So do Mr. Scrooge and Mr. Marley.
They're not facing prosecution for a capital offense.
Oh, but gentlemen, it could have been any one of you. We're all cutthroats under this fancy linen, Mr. Snedrig.
I must ask you to speak for yourself, Mr. Jorking.
What would you gauge to prosecute me? All you'd get out of it is about £11 odd. And to pack me off to Botany Bay would be poor compensation for the panic that would arise among the shareholders.
Panic, sir?
Yes, panic. Would any of you gentlemen care to deny that if this juicy little scandal leaked out now, the annual shareholders' meeting would resemble an orchestra of scorched cats? Result? Bankruptcy all round.
Strike that speech out of the minutes.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Joking doesn't exaggerate the imprudence of allowing his misdemeanors to be made public.
Are you in sympathy with Mr. Jorkin by any chance, Mr. Scrooge?
Not, I confess, with his methods. But Mr. Marley and I have a proposition to make to the representatives of the company, which might solve some of the difficulties to our general advantage.
The devil you have. You want to watch these two fellas, you know. They'd skin Jack Ketch alive and he'd never know they'd done it.
Can we hear the proposition?
Shall I be spokesman? Mr. Marley and myself are prepared to make good out of our own private resources the sum of money appropriated by Mr. Joking.
Reprieved. Reprieved. Curfew shall not ring tonight, Mr. Snedrig.
Order! In return, we wish to be allowed the option of buying up further shares in the company to a maximum of 51% of the total.
In short, gentlemen, if you wish to save the fair name of the company by accepting their generous offer, they become the company.
Never.
51%?
Out of the question. Never.
51%?
Out of the question and also out of order, Mr. Scrooge.
Pardon me, if you can find the grace to. I just come from Mr. Marley's with a message for Mr. Scrooge.
Can I give it to him?
Well, please, your great kind self, dear. I'm to say that Mr. Marley ain't expected to live through the night, and that if Mr. Scrooge wants to take his leave of him, he should nip along smartly, or there won't be no Mr. Marley to take leave of, as we know the use of the word. He's breathing very queer when he does breathe at all.
Excuse me, Mr. Scrooge,
I'm busy.
It's about Mr. Marley. He's dying, sir.
Well, what can I do about it? If he's dying, he's dying.
Well, the message was for you to go at once, sir.
It is now 5:15. The business of the office is not yet finished. I shall go when the office is closed. At 7 o'clock.
Yes, sir. He'll come at 7.
I'll try and get Mr. Marley to hold out till then, I'm sure. Much obliged. Good night to you. And a Merry Christmas, if it ain't out of keeping with the situation.
Thank you. The same to you.
I hope you'll find Mr. Marley well, sir.
I should think that's highly unlikely.
Yes, I suppose so, sir. But it seems odd to think of the place without him, sir.
Why should it be any more odd than it was with him? We've all got to die, Cratchit. I suppose you'll be wanting the whole day off tomorrow as usual.
If quite convenient, sir.
Every Christmas you say the same thing. And every Christmas it's just as inconvenient as it was the Christmas before. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Who's that, the doctor?
No, sir. The undertaker.
You don't believe in letting the grass grow under your feet, do you?
Ours is a highly competitive profession, sir.
Is he dead yet?
I'll have another look if you like.
No, don't bother. I'll see for myself. Jacob? Well, have they seen to you properly? Last rites and all that? There's nothing I can do, Oh? What, particularly?
Well, there's still time.
Time? Time for what?
We're in wrong.
Huh?
Wrong.
Wrong? Oh. Well, we can't be right all the time. Nobody's perfect. We've been no worse than the next man. Oh, better if it comes to that. You mustn't reproach yourself, Jacob.
We are wrong.
What?
Save yourself.
What? Save myself? Save myself from what? Speak up.
Dead?
Yes.
Just like you said.
I always know. One shadow more.
No. No more. I cannot bear it.
Jacob Marley worked at your side for 18 years. He was the only friend you ever had. But what did you feel when you signed the register of his burial and took his money, his house, and his few mean sticks of furniture? Did you feel a little pity for him? Look at your face, Ebenezer. A face of a wrenching, grasping, scraping, covetous old sinner. No, 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 no.
I don't know. What happened to this movie, Jack?
Captain?
I don't like the direction it's taken. I mean, there seems to be a lot of merriment in it now, and dancing and mush. I mean, Jacob Marley's not even in it anymore. And instead, there seems to be a lot of remorse and regret. Ugh. And frankly, this Santa suit is starting to itch. I don't know how the old bugger does it, all hopped up on eggnog and cookies, flying around with reindeer. It just sounds ridiculous, and it's a lot like this movie's direction is taken.
Aye. That it does, Captain. Do you feel any remorse as a consequence, Captain? Like perhaps in promoting me back to navigator, to second in command, as your first mate?
Well, no.
You've got to be kidding me.
But it does make me think about this Scrooge, though. He seems to be holding his ground for not wanting to change his ways. He's a little stubborn, and I commend him for that one. Maybe I can make him me navigator, or bump you to poop deck cleaner, or head gunner, or taste tester. That's it. Me personal taste tester. You know, for poisons in case of a revolt or a mutiny, huh? And do you think the curse would allow something for that?
Sorry to disturb you, Captain, but perhaps if you knew more about this movie, you might make a better informed decision.
You might be right, Davy Bones. What have you got on this movie?
There have been many remakes and, of course, musical stage plays of A Christmas Carol over the years, including the traditional CLO version in downtown Pittsburgh every year.
Aye! Get your tickets right now, as a matter of fact.
Yes, as I was saying...
They're going fast! I love a cheap plug.
Both Alastair Sim, who plays Scrooge, and Michael Hordern, who plays Marley, reprised their roles years later, once again, in A Christmas Carol in 1971, and Hordern switched roles and appeared as Scrooge himself in the 1977 version. Although this film is widely regarded as the best filmed version of Charles Dickens' story, it's the only one which omits Scrooge's famous line, "If I could work my will, every idiot who goes about with a Merry Christmas on his lips would be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart." Alastair Sims would eventually get a chance to say it, however, when he reprised his role in the animated A Christmas Carol in 1971, which again featured Michael Hordern as Jacob Marley. Are you a fan of the classic Avengers series from the 1960s, or even Battlestar Galactica from the 1970s? Well, Patrick McNee, who starred in both, first as John Steed in the Avengers, and as Count Ibley, the Imperious leader, and actual narrator of Battlestar Galactica, also plays a young Jacob Marley. Both George Cole, who played young Scrooge, and Patrick McNee, who played young Marley, passed away, unfortunately, in 2015, exactly 64 years after the film's release. Changes to the screenplay from the Charles Dickens novel were made, mostly in the Christmas cast sequence, the most significant of which was reversing the birth order of Scrooge and his sister, so as to add that Scrooge's mother died giving birth to him. Because of the movie It's a Wonderful Life, released 6 years prior to this one, it was a plot point that was omitted as not to offend Republic Pictures, who produced the Jimmy Stewart classic for Christmas. Blooper spoil alert! In the film's final scene, Scrooge is seen petting a dog owned by a blind man on the street. Tiny Tim's voice is suddenly heard yelling, "Uncle Scrooge! Uncle Scrooge!" He turns, and in the reverse angle of the same street, the blind man and dog are suddenly gone, and Scrooge is deeper down the tunnel than he was at the entrance. Learn from this, first-time filmmakers. The opening titles begin with a hand taking a copy of the book A Christmas Carol from a shelf of several other Charles Dickens works. All of the copies are the same size. In reality, A Christmas Carol was written as a short story and would be much thinner than the others depicted on the shelf. That's for you true Christmas Carol fans. Again in the finale, when Scrooge calls to the boy in the street to buy the turkey, he leans on the ledge of the window as viewed from the outside. From inside, however, the ledge is seen to be not more than a foot off the floor, unless he suddenly dropped to his knees, in which case he might have fallen out the window. Whoops-a-daisy! When Scrooge enters his residence on Christmas Eve, he locks the door and slides a deadbolt so that the door cannot be opened from the inside. From the next day, Christmas morning, the housekeeper somehow enters his home while he is still in bed. What is that all about? And there you are, Captain!
Interesting. I'll give you that. But not as interesting or as helpful as you might think. You know, Jack, maybe when I get Marley on board me boat, you could find a place on it as me new powder monkey. Let's see if I can find Mr. Marley.
What am I going to do, Davy Bones? Drake's going to demote me down the ladder to gunner. And perhaps on poop deck.
I saw. Perhaps he needs to be reminded of how valuable you are around here. Maybe the scepter of Sam Hain might help. It can do millions of things.
Great googly moogly. You're right. The scepter of Sam Hain. The wheels are already starting to turn.
Okay, you know, when you're in evil genius mood, it really freaks me out.
In the meantime, you guys at home watch this message from our sponsors.
We asked, and you responded.
Hi, I wanted to call in and just tell you that I just absolutely love watching Dead and Buried Treasures. I watch it with my kids, and my kids just think the bird is awesome. And I myself love watching the ghost and horror movies. It brings back a lot of memories. I used to watch those with my parents, and I just think the show is awesome, and we need more shows like that.
Hey, I was just calling in because I wanted to say I like what you guys have got going on there. I really enjoy watching it because I used to watch shows like this back when I was a kid, and watching it brings back a little bit of nostalgia from before, and I just wish there was more shows like this on the air now, because watching it brings back all those memories of before, and it's just really nice to see all that.
Hey, I wanted to call about the show for Dead and Buried Treasures. Just wanted to say, great show, especially during this time in the way this country is. It's funny. It's just a good, entertaining type of show. My family watches it all the time. It'd be great if we actually got to see it on TV versus sitting there on the iPad watching it, or on the phone and watching it, whatever. But it's fun. It's very entertaining. Makes me laugh. At the end of the day, we need more shows like that. And I really appreciate your time. I really appreciate your effort putting into it. Just a good time. I hope you keep doing it because we love watching it. Thank you very much. I just had to call and tell you that. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.
There are no further messages.
Operators are standing by. Call now.
Hey, I'm looking for Fred Rogers. In here.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Please won't you be my neighbor? Hello, neighbor.
Mr. Rogers, I'm here to interview you.
It is so nice to meet you.
You okay? Profiling Mr. Rogers.
Lloyd, please don't ruin my childhood.
This piece will be for an issue about heroes. Do you consider yourself a hero?
We are trying to give the world positive ways of dealing with their feelings.
Yeah? Like what?
There are many things you can do. You can play all the lowest keys on a piano at the same time.
love broken people like me.
Sometimes we have to ask for help, and that's okay. I think the best thing we can do is to let people know that each one of them is precious.
Hey, Mr. Rogers! It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Please won't you be my neighbor?
That was wonderful.
And while you're picking yourself up off the floor from that one, mateys, let me introduce you to another great bit of casting.
Dead and Buried Treasures is your weekend haunt. That's Friday and Saturday nights beginning at 11 with a new show the first Friday of the month, right here on this Fright Network affiliate.
Well, you certainly had that one loaded in a chamber.
And don't miss our Fright Network pre-show at 10:30, where Fiore from the movie review show Outtakes with Fiore and series creator Eric Sprouse take you for a behind-the-scenes tour with insight into making each episode.
Because I probably look significantly different than
Captain Calico Drake, I do.
Plus, your chance to win even more horrific prizes each week.
I should be hearing from the FCC any minute now.
So don't forget to call and leave your feedback on the show.
Like this one?
And ask questions where your Q&A will be read on the air.
Like this one? And welcome back to our special holiday episode of Dead and Buried Treasures. And this time, we're hosting a Christmas Carol. I was very much in the Christmas spirit when we began this movie, what with Jacob Marley taking center stage and really whipping Ebenezer Scrooge into shape, but lots happened since then. I even had me Sunday best on. I've been drinking eggnog by the gallon, minus the rum, which is very hard for me. I even convinced Jack I was thinking of replacing him as me quartermaster with Jacob Marley. But then it all came to a crashing halt. Like me ship hitting a barrier reef at 50 knots or something. Jack disappeared, and I think I better let him off the hook. You know? Get it? Hook?
Captain, did I hear you correctly? You were only kidding with Jack?
Yes, I was just poking a little fun at him, Davy Bones. It was all in jest.
Well, that's certainly a relief.
A relief? Why? All right. What has that daft bird gotten himself into this time?
The scepter of Sam Hain was only a suggestion on my part.
The scepter of... Mr. Bones, what are you coddling on about? Davy Bones. The scepter of Samhain is not a toy. It's nothing, it's not a toy to be played with. When you mix the holidays of Halloween and Christmas, the results can be less than favorable, or noble, or normal. Is that why he asked you to bring me down here to the keel? What is that dippy bird gone and done now?
Oh my Neptune ghost! What in the hell just happened? What are these freaky things? What are they? They're gross. Shoo, shoo, go away. Go away. What's wrong with you? They're yellow.
You know, Davy Bones, I'm not as surprised as you might think. If this were any other ship, like the Enterprise, or the Galactica, or Serenity, you'd be surprised at that. But this ship, no, not at all.
So yellowish, it's just freaking me out. They're big, bulgy eyes. What are you? There's one staring right at me, Captain. I can't take this anymore. I want off this stupid ship. I don't care if it's the Swashbuckler's hunt or if it's the USS Minnow. I am constantly surrounded by this nonsense. It's just...
Oh, Jack! Would you kindly tell me why I'm suddenly surrounded by... I don't know. 100 frozen minions on me ship, and what I can only best describe as the sound of a refrigerating unit in me ears.
I didn't want to be demoted to gunner and have Jacob Marley replace me as your first mate and quartermaster, so Davy Bones suggested I prove my worth, so I thought I could bring you a crew that would do your bidding, and instead, I brought minions.
A sentence I never thought I'd ever hear or understand, but somehow I do.
Jack, I clearly said millions, not minions. They're everywhere. What is wrong with you? You know, for a parrot, you have the brain the size of a flagpole. What the devil's going on in that little pea-brain head of yours? There's minions everywhere. I can't believe you used that scepter of Samhain and drugged these millions here. What is wrong with you? I just don't understand
enough
what's going on with
idiocy, you idiots. Jack, why are these minions frozen in place on me ship?
Well, I used the scepter of Samhain. And teleported them from the North Pole.
Oh no, not the North Pole.
And the scepter of Samhain somehow crossed Christmas with Halloween, freezing them into place.
No.
No?
Oh no.
No, I accidentally teleported them from Santa's workshop. To the refrigeration unit of the Carnegie Science Center downtown.
There it is.
And then I panicked and teleported everything that was living and breathing and working in that area. Here.
Oh boy, that explains the refrigerator I'm hearing. Where is that sound coming from?
Yeah, it's right over there.
What is that?
You know, Jack, we're right in the middle of a movie here. I'll take care of it.
Well, at least they're dressed for the holidays, right?
Let's get you back to the movie while I deal with Minion Town here. I can't wait to see what the next ghost does to Ebenezer Scrooge.
Oh, I can't wait to see what Captain Drake does to Jack. Are you kidding me?
You've got that right, Davy Bones. We'll be right back after this.
Yes, I'm coming. Come in. Come in. I'm coming.
Ebenezer, come in. Come in, and no better man. I am the spirit of Christmas present. Look upon me. You've never seen the like of me before, have you?
Never. And I wish the pleasure had been indefinitely postponed.
So? Is your heart still unmoved towards us, then?
I'm too old. I'm beyond hope. Go and redeem some younger, more promising creature. Leave me to keep Christmas in my own way.
Mortal, we spirits of Christmas do not live only one day of our year. We live the whole 365. So is it true of the child born in Bethlehem. He does not live in men's hearts only one day of the year, but in all the days of the year. You have chosen not to seek him in your heart. Therefore you shall come with me and seek him in the hearts of men of goodwill. Come, touch my robe.
What place is this?
A place where miners live, who labor in the bowels of the earth. But they know me. Come.
Cratchit.
He's coming, Mother. Father's here with Tiny Tim.
Tim, Martha. You hide, and we'll tell him you've been held up, and who knows when you'll be there.
Yes, go and hide. Oh, goodness, where? Behind the scullery door, quickly, Martha.
Merry Christmas. Why? Where's our Martha?
Oh, she's not coming.
Not coming? Not coming on Christmas Day?
Yes, I am, Father. I can't bear to let them tease you.
Why, bless your heart. It never would have been Christmas if they'd kept you late.
Is the pudding still singing in the copper, Peter? Yes, come and hear it. You come too, Mary and Belinda. You come along as well, Martha. Come and hear the pudding singing in the copper. I'll come in a minute. All right.
Sit you down before the fire and have a nice warm, the Lord bless you.
We had such a deal of work to finish up last night that I never did think I'd get away. We had to clear away this morning. And then I ran all the way so as to be here in time.
How did little Tim behave in church?
As good as gold and better. Somehow he gets thoughtful sitting by himself so much and thinks the strangest things you ever heard. He told me he wasn't going to feel shy if people looked at him because he was a cripple, as it might be pleasant to them, being in church, to remember upon Christmas Day who made lame beggars walk and blind men see. He's growing strong and hearty, though, Martha, my dear. Isn't he, my love? Spirit, tell me, will Tiny Tim live?
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner, carefully preserved. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, none other of my race shall find him there.
Oh, no. No. Kind Spirit, say that he will be spared.
Why? If he be like to die, he'd better do it and decrease the surplus population.
Well, my little cock sparrow, here's your own stool by the fire, all ready for you.
There's such a goose, Martha. I'm sure of it. And the pudding. Oh, the pudding.
I shan't be easy till it's eaten. I confess I have my doubts about the quantity of flour.
It'll be a perfect pudding, my love. A perfect pudding. Won't it, Martha, my dear? Hey, Tim?
It'll be the finest pudding in the whole of London this Christmas. And the goose will be the finest goose. And ours will be the finest Christmas.
Here's the punch, all steaming hot. No, Goosey. Take your turn, one and all, if you please. There's enough for one toast now and another after that.
There, bravo. There's bounty for you. I declare, I'd like to know how many families of our acquaintance could boast 2 rounds of the best gin punch. Now, has everybody got his drink?
Yes.
Good. But before I give the toast, I have a piece of momentous information for all, and Master Peter in particular.
Master Peter? Why, that's you, Peter. What is it, Father?
Tell us. Master Peter, now grown to full estate and dignity, a son of the house, and looking every inch the grand fellow he is in one of my own collars. I have waited for this great moment to advise him that I have my eye on a situation for him which will bring in, if obtained, full 5 and 6pence weekly.
Oh, lovely. You'll be quite independent gentleman now, Peter.
What next, I wonder?
Then a toast, my love, my dearies, to our Merry Christmas. God bless us.
God bless us. God bless us, everyone.
I give you Mr. Scrooge, the founder of the feast.
Oh, no! I wish I had him here now. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast himself upon.
My dear children, Christmas Day.
Could only be on Christmas Day that I would drink the health of such a hard, stingy, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge. You know he is, Robert. Nobody knows it better than you do, poor fellow.
My dear, Christmas Day.
I'll drink his health for your sake and the day's, not for his. Long life to him, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very happy and very merry, no doubt.
He said that Christmas was humbug, and he believed it, too.
I told him so.
Well, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the poor old man. He wouldn't let me wish it to him personally, but here it is nevertheless. Uncle Scrooge.
Oh. Well, I don't know that our drinking to him will do him much good.
Nor do I. I hate him.
Oh, I forbid it. I'm sorry for it. I couldn't feel angry with him if I tried. Who suffers worst from his humours? Himself, always. Look at the way he's taken it into his head to disown us without a shilling and won't even come to dinner with us. And what's the consequence? He's only cheated himself out of a highly indigestible dinner.
It was
a wonderful dinner.
Yes, it was a wonderful dinner.
Well, I'm very glad you think so, miss, because I personally haven't very much faith in these newlywed housekeepers. Have you, Tupper?
Alas, as a bachelor, I'm a wretched outcast with no right to express an opinion on such a tender and delicate subject. Have I? Dear, distant, unmovable Miss Flora.
Now, you really are quite incorrigible, Mr. Tupper. Quite beyond hope.
time become a sounding brass or a tinkling cymbal. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing.
Do you feel more rested now, my dear? I do. Bless your dear, gentle heart. Alice. Do you know me, darling? I never thought there was anyone like you left in the whole wide world. Cut me throat, rip me liver if I'm telling a lie. This is the happiest Christmas I ever had.
Alice. Alice. Spirit, are these people real or are they shadows?
They're real. We're the shadows.
Both of us.
Did you not cut yourself off from your fellow beings when you lost the love of that gentle creature?
Where are you taking me now?
My time with you, Ebenezer, is almost done. Will you profit by what I have shown you of the good in most men's hearts?
I don't know. How can I promise?
It's too hard a lesson for you to learn. Then learn this lesson.
Spirit, are these yours?
They are man's. They cling to me for protection from their fetters. This boy is ignorance, this girl is want. Beware them both, but most of all, beware this boy.
But have they no refuge, no resource?
Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? Are there no workhouses? Are there no prisons? Are there no
I am in the presence of the spirit of Christmas yet to come. And you're going to show me shadows of things that have not yet happened, but will happen. Spirit of the future, I fear you more than any other spectre I've seen. But even in my fear, I must tell you, I am too old. I cannot change. It is not that I am impenitent. It is just that wouldn't it be better if I just went home to bed? No. Lead me then.
He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings thou shalt trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrows that flieth by day. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. Shall I stop reading?
No, no. It's only the color. It hurts my eyes. They're better now. It makes them weak by candlelight. And I wouldn't show your father weak eyes when he comes home for the world. It must be near his time.
Past it, rather. But he seems to be walking a little slower than he used these last few evenings.
Oh, I've known him walk with Tiny Tim on his shoulder very fast indeed.
So have I, often.
And so have I. So have I.
But then he was very light to carry, and his father loved him so that there was no trouble. No trouble.
I'm a little late, my dear. Please forgive me.
You must be cold and tired. Sit near the fire.
No, I'm very content, my dear. Very content. I went to see the place where he will rest. It's sheltered by green trees, my dear, and very quiet and still. It was strange, but as I stood there, I felt his hand slip in mine as if he was standing beside me and comforting me. He was telling me, you see, in his own little way, that he's happy. Truly happy now, and that we must cease to grieve for him and try to be happy too. Oh, dear, my tiny dear.
Oh, Robert, my Lord. Oh, Robert.
Hello, Joe. Oh, Joe.
Hey. Well, come on.
No, let the laundress go first.
No, dear. You was here first.
After you, I'm sure. Oh, look, old Joe, he's a chance. If a chow lady and the laundress and the undertaker haven't all met here at the same time without meaning it.
Well, you couldn't have met in a better place. Let's go into the parlour. You were made free a bit long ago, eh? And the other two aren't strangers. Oh, wait a minute, just shut the door of the shop, eh? Just shut the door of the shop. Oh, it creaks. There's not a rusted piece of metal in the place like its own hinges. And I'm sure there are no old bones here like mine. We're all suitable to our callings, eh? We're all well matched. Come into the parlour. Eh? Come into the parlour.
Who goes first? What odds now we're all met at the once? Everyone's got a right to take care of themselves, he always did.
Oh, that's true enough. No one more so.
Why, then don't stand staring as if you was afraid, woman. Who's the wiser? We're not going to pick holes in each other's coats, I suppose.
No, indeed.
Oh, we hope not.
Very well, then. Who's the worse for the loss of a few things like these? Not a dead man, I suppose.
No, indeed.
If he wanted to keep 'em after he was dead, why wasn't he amiable in his lifetime? If he had been, he'd have had somebody with him when he was struck with death, instead of lying gasping out his last there alone by himself.
Yeah, there never was a truer word spoke. It was a judgment on him.
I wish it was a little heavier one, and it would have been if I could have laid my hands on anything else. We knew pretty well we was helping ourselves before we come here, I believe. It's no sin. Open the bundle, Joe.
No, I'll go first. Just to show we all got trust in one another.
It's very polite of you, I do grant, I'm sure.
Watch, fob, seal, pencil case, sleeve buttons, brooch. Yes. 8 shillings this lot, and I wouldn't give you another 6pence. Not if I was boiled for life for not doing it. Who's next?
Always the lady, dear. I shall have to insist you all stop and watch mine, now that we're so open and above with each other. 2 sheets, 2 towels, shirt, teaspoons, 2 silver, sugar tongs, boots assorted, power.
Yeah, 17 and 6. I always give too much to a lady. It's a weakness of mine. That's how I come to ruin myself. Yeah, if you asked for another penny, made it an open question, I'd regret my liberality. Knock off half a crown.
Now open my bundle, Joe.
Come on, what's in it?
Hey? You wait and see.
Yeah.
Bed curtains.
Bed curtains?
Bed curtains.
What do I would say you took these down, rings and all, and him lying there.
Yes, I do. Why not?
You was born to make a fortune, ma'am, and you certainly will.
I certainly won't hold back my hand when I can get something in it. For the sake of such a man as he was, I promise you'd go.
These his blankets, too.
Whose else do you think? He ain't likely to take cold without him, I dare say.
He didn't die of anything catching, did he?
Oh, don't you be afraid of that. I wasn't too fond of his company. I'd loiter about him for such things if he did. And you can look through that till your eyes ache and you won't find a hole in it. It's the best one he had, and a fine one, too. They'd have wasted it if it hadn't been for me.
What do you mean, wasted it?
Well, they'd have buried him in it, of course. But I took it off of him again, as if calico ain't good enough for burying. Anyway, it's just as becoming to the body. He couldn't have looked uglier than what he did in this one.
It's poetic justice. He frightened everybody away from him when he was alive, and now he benefits us when he's dead.
No, I don't know much about it either way. I only know he's dead.
When did he die?
Last night, I believe.
What was the matter with him? I thought he'd never die.
So did he, I dare say.
What's he done with all his money?
Left it to his company. Where else? He didn't leave it to me. That's all I know.
Well, the funeral won't cost much, that's certain. Upon my soul, I can't think of anyone who'll go to it.
I don't mind going, if there's a luncheon provided. But I must be fed, or else I stay at home.
I know those men. They're men of business, very wealthy, very important. Whose funeral were they talking about? Strange. My usual place is over there, under the clock. I ought to be there this time of day. But I'm not. I'm not.
Jack. Ebenezer Scrooge just found out he's dead, just when it was getting good.
Well, he's not dead, Captain.
Huh? He's not? You do realize he was talking to Death, right? I mean, Death is the landlord.
No. He's just showing him what the future would be like if he doesn't change his ways.
Speaking of changing your ways, have you decorated every corner, crevice, and cove of this ship for Christmas and the holidays? Even your many perches are decorated.
Well,
well, just as long as you undecorate it for next week's movie, I guess. But the more important question is, how do we get these frozen minions back to the North Pole without Santa even knowing they were gone in the first place?
And the refrigeration unit back to the Science Center returned before anyone knows it's gone?
Well, thank the man upstairs. It's the weekend.
You know, Jack, I was only playing with you. I was never going to replace you as me quartermaster.
No? You weren't?
No! Are you daft? I sent me other quartermaster to the bottom of the ocean for getting us involved with that curse in the first place. And I already have a navigator. You apparently are the key to all of this, you bloomin' idiot. Why would I do that?
The key? What do you mean, the key?
Now, Jack, you haven't been sleeping around here all of this time. How do you think you're able to talk? The curse. Because of the curse, Poseidon sees whatever you see. We've been over this. This is why we have to stick together and host these ridiculous monster movies.
And you never were going to get rid of me, Captain?
No.
Well, that's the sweetest thing you ever said to me, Captain Drake.
Don't care.
Aw, Captain Drake.
Shut up, Davy Bones, or I'll send you to your locker. Now help me think, or this boat will be ransacked with minions when they thaw out.
How long do you think we have?
Well, I don't know. Well, that would depend on the curse, really. I don't know. Maybe about 30 minutes? You know, Jack, you really shouldn't have gone messing with that scepter of Samhain in the first place. If you don't know what you're doing, it can be really dangerous. Look what happened.
You're right, Captain. At first, I just used a couple of spells from the doctor's quarters that Davy Bones gave me.
Spells? What spells?
Yes, but they didn't do anything.
Maybe you had the wrong incantation, or maybe you just pronounced it wrong.
I don't think so. Elvira, musico transformicus.
Now wait just a damn second. I want...
Oops, what did I say? What did I say?
Davy, your Latin is horrible. You said turn me into a musical snowman.
Let me try again. Transformico kitty caticus dancicus.
You're on fire, Mr. Bones.
Touch this.
I don't think anybody wants to touch that.
Sorry, let me think here. Dabicus, Dancicus, Sunglassicus?
You know, Mr. Bones, I take it back. You are more dangerous than the scepter of Samhain. Look at his dab. Look at his dab. Look at his dab.
Hang on. I know this. Rudolphicus, Danstronum, Saxophonicus. Yes, now, Captain, I already know what you're thinking, but if we keep him this way, he can lead the ship through dark waters at night with his nose alone.
I do like the sound of that. But I still need a quartermaster.
All right, let me try this one. Trombonum Santarifocus Transformato.
This is ridiculous, Mr. Bones. You're not even using the scepter. You're just casting spells. It's like a daycare center around here.
Let me try again. Elvira, musico transformicus.
Great whales of goose snot. This is just ridiculous. Let me try this. Now, my Latin is just a little fuzzy. Ringicus, Beltronum, Snowball later. That didn't work. Well, that reminds me of something I need to do.
What's that, Captain?
I need to wring your neck later.
Abracadabra?
It's beginning to look a lot like a toy section of Walmart.
Huff and Puff?
Mr. Bones, this is worse than the Minions, all of them combined.
Tomato paste.
We've got to get him down from his perch.
All right, let me try this one. All together now. Changicus, Totalitarium, back to Normalicis.
There's 5 minutes of me life I can't get back.
Wow, it's good to be me again.
Let's get back to business. Jack, where is the scepter of Samhain right now?
Well, it was too big for me to carry, so I left it on the bridge.
Well, where is it?
Near the mizzen mast.
Well, we have to act fast, but I think I might know what we need to do here. Excuse me. There's so many of these little cretins on them. Take care of business. Just hold that thought, Jack, while I'll be right back. I'm going to get the scepter.
Man, I could go for a midnight snack, like Christmas cookies or something.
Hey, Jack, are you hungry?
Always?
Do you know a pirate's favorite restaurant?
Is it Arby's?
You'd think so, but it's actually Long John Silver's.
Pardon me. Excuse me. Look out. West. What are you doing now? Okay. Watch out there. Are you two finished? Now, if you two comedians are done, maybe a time reversal spell might work, but as for you at home, me mateys, let's get a word with our sponsors while I make some kind of a battle plan here. Oh, and it wasn't Arby's, and it wasn't Long John Silver's. It's be Red Lobster.
Harlan started out with a Rusty Smith Corona and built himself into one of the best-selling mystery writers of all time.
30 languages, over 80 million copies sold. You guys fans?
I mean, I don't do much fiction reading myself.
Big fan. I'm a big fan.
Who is that guy?
Mr. Blanc is a private investigator of great renown.
I read a tweet about a New Yorker article about you. You're famous.
The night of his demise, the family had gathered to celebrate your father's 85th birthday. And your son, Ransom, did he attend as well?
Yes, but he left early. I think Linda was upset.
Walt would get a little Irish courage in him. He'd get into it with Harlan.
What? Richard said what?
Are you baiting me, detective?
Attempting to be thorough so we can figure out the manner of death.
You mean if someone killed him? You think one of us, one of his family, killed him?
Mr. Blanc, I just buried my father who committed suicide. Why are you here?
I suspect foul play. I have eliminated no suspects.
Harlan was cleaning house.
Everyone in the family has possible motives.
Was Harlan planning on cutting off Joni? Did he plan to fire Walter?
Is Richard having an affair?
That's some heavy-duty conjecture.
Funny, Ransom, you skipped the funeral, but you're early for the will reading.
Up your ass.
Very nice.
Ransom.
You gotta do this more often.
The family is truly desperate. When people get desperate, the knives come out. This is a twisted web. And we are not finished untangling it. Not yet.
I keep waiting for the big reveal.
All of them lied to me. There is one guilty party behind it all.
You know something. Spill it.
Oh my God. Tell me what happened to my grandfather.
I think you have something you want to tell me.
We asked, and you responded.
Hey guys, I was just calling to tell you that I'm a really big fan of your show. Me and my friends watch it every Saturday night, and we are absolutely in love with all the monster movies that you talk about, and especially that they're from like the 50s, 60s, you know, the older movies. That's what we like about the show so much. We especially like your parrot Jack. He's always making us laugh. And it's just a very enjoyable show that we like to watch every Saturday. So I was just calling to give you my feedback, and I hope you continue to make more great shows. Thank you.
Hi, I just thought I'd call and tell you I am enjoying your monster movies. They're great. And also, I love Drake. Hope to see more of you. Bye.
Hey, this is Saul Cummel from Pittsburgh. I just want to tell you guys, I really love Dead and Barry's Treasure Show. I love all the old monster movies. It really takes me back to when I was a kid, and now I'm able to tell my friends, you guys got to check this show out, and it'll bring back so many memories for you. Let me tell you, too, Calico Drake is hilarious. Although I tell you what, Jack really makes the show. He just busts Calico Drake every chance he gets, and I love it. Keep up the good work, guys. I will be shanghaied into your crew as long as the show is on. Thanks very much.
Hey, man, I think your show's kind of groovy. Bucket of Blood is what it is, man. What it is. Got that beatnik thing to it?
Arr, we asked, and you responded.
We're sorry we're not home right now. We thank you for your call. We are such merry people. We love you one and all. Please leave your name and phone number. We'll call you back with luck. But if you should hang up too soon, go take a flying.
Hi, sorry I missed you. Just leave a message.
Operators are standing by. Call now.
All right. I have a spell here I think I could use. And I think it comes approved from the powers that be. What I seem to need here is a time reversal spell using the Scepter of Samhain. It'd be like the minions were not even here.
And then what?
There is no then what. They'll be gone, you bloomin' feather duster.
Captain, don't take this the wrong way, but you're messing with time. How exactly do you plan on accomplishing that?
Well, I'll simply rewind this episode, minus the movie, and start all over. I'll be holding the Scepter of Samhain, so I won't be affected. It'll take me back to about, I'm guessing about 12:30 or so, just before the minions were here.
So it will be like the minions never left the North Pole.
That is the plan, and neither of you will remember this, but the mateys out there just might. It's a lot like that Harry Potter time-turner thingy, so here we go.
Well, thank God, because they're freaking me out. Oh, Captain, a piece of advice. As your navigator, remember not to run into yourself, Captain. It could have devastating consequences. I saw Back to the Future.
I won't.
Captain?
Yes, Jack.
In case I don't see you again.
Oh, shut up, Jack. You're gonna see me again in about 20 seconds. Or rather, about an hour ago. Now, stand back. Everybody stand back. All right, here we go.
And Captain?
Yes, Jack.
Be careful with the scepter. It gets hot on re-entry.
All right. Now, stand back, Jack. This is worse than... Here we go.
And Captain?
Oh, Jack, you're worse than Yoda dying. What is it now?
Look me up when you get there, will you? I should be about, let's see, carry the 3. I should be about,
Tempus Tournicus Retrosum. You know, Jack, maybe when I get Marley on board me boat, You could find a place on it as Minu Powder Monkey. Let's see if I can find Mr. Marley.
What am I going to do, Davy Bones? Drake's going to demote me down the ladder to gunner. And perhaps on poop deck.
I saw. Perhaps he needs to be reminded of how valuable you are around here. Maybe the scepter of Sam Hain might help. It can do millions of things.
Great googly moogly. You're right. The scepter of Sam Hain. The wheels are already starting to turn.
Well, let them keep turning. And in fact, let them keep turning right off the table.
Captain?
Captain? I thought you were checking the keel.
How did you get on the other side so
I did.
fast?
She's still there.
But Captain, I just...
Shh. I'll explain everything later. But first, let's get back to the conclusion of A Christmas Carol.
The conclusion? But Captain, we're barely halfway through the movie.
Trust me, I'm sure I'll be okay. I do believe that Ebenezer was about to discover a startling secret from the ghost of Christmas future.
Before I draw nearer to that stone, answer me one question. Are these the shadows of things that must be? Or are they only shadows of things that might be? I know that men's deeds foreshadow certain ends, but if the deeds be departed from, surely the ends will change. Tell me to so with what you show me now. Spirit, no. Tell me I'm not already dead. Tell me I'm not already dead. Tell me I'm not already dead. Hear the Spirit. I'm not the man I was. Believe me, I'm not the man I was. Why show me all this if I'm beyond all hope? Oh, pity me, Spirit, pity me, and help me. Help me to sponge away the writing on this stone if I repent. And I do repent. I'll make good the wrongs I've done my fellow men. I'll change. I'm not the man I was. I'm not the man I was. Believe me, I'm not the man I was. I'm not the man I was. I'm not the man I was.
Good morning, sir.
Tell me, what day is it?
What day? What's Christmas Day, of course, sir?
Christmas Day. Then I haven't missed it. The spirits must have done everything in one night. Of course, they can do anything, can't they? Of course they can.
Are you quite yourself, sir?
What? I don't know. No, I don't think so. I hope not.
What?
The curtains are still here. They're still here. You didn't tear them down and sell them. They're here now. Everything's here. I'm here. And the shadows of things that would be. Oh, they will be. I know. I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as merry as a schoolboy. I'm as giddy as a drunken man. I've never. A Merry Christmas, Ebenezer. You old humbug. And a Happy New Year, as if you deserved it. Merry Christmas, Mrs. Dilber.
Same to you, sir.
Oh, thank you. And many, many of them, Mrs. Dilber.
Likewise.
Look, Mrs. Dilber, there's the corner where the spirit of Christmas present sat. And there's the door where Jacob Marley's ghost came through. And there's the window where I saw the wandering spirit. It's right, it's true, it all happened. I don't know what day of the month it is. I don't know how long I've been amongst the spirits. I don't know anything. I never did know anything. But now I know that I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I never did know anything. But now I know that I don't know. All on the Christmas morning. I must stand on my head. Come back! Please, Mr. Dilber. I am not mad. Even if I look...
Don't be violent, Mr. Scrooge, sir. You forced me to scream for the beadle.
The beadle, madam? A thing for the beadle.
A guinea? Here, what for?
I'll give you one guess.
To keep me mouth shut.
To keep my mouth shut. Oh, no, Mrs. Dilber. It's for a Christmas present.
A Christmas present? For me?
Of course, for you. A merry, merry Christmas. Dear Mrs. Dilber. Oh, how much do I pay you?
2 shillings a week.
What, 2 shillings? It's forthwith raised to 10.
10 shillings a week here? You're sure you don't want to see a doctor?
A doctor? Certainly not. Nor the undertaker. Now off you go and enjoy yourself. Like a good girl.
Bullshit, Uncle! Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge! In keeping with the situation.
The bells, the merry, merry bells. What a beautiful morning. Hello there, hello, you boy, you.
For me?
Yes, you. Do you know the butcher's in the next street but one?
I should hope so.
An intelligent boy. A remarkable boy. Tell me, have they sold the prize turkey that was hanging there, not the little turkey, the big one?
What, the one as big as me?
Yes. Delightful boy. Yes, my buck, the one as big as you.
It's hanging there still.
Is it? Very well, then, go and buy it.
What, cur?
No, wait a minute. I'm in earnest. Tell the butcher to bring it here, and I'll give him the name of the party he's to send it to. Come back with the butcher, and I'll give you a shilling. Come back with him in less than 5 minutes, and I'll give you half a crown. An enchanting boy. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit. That's what I'll do. He'll never dream where it came from. Now, let me see. I must have a label. Label. It's twice the size of Tiny Tim.
Mr. Robert Cratchit, 2 Porter Street, Camden Town.
That's you, Robert. Leastways, there's no one else I know of.
I think I know who sent it.
Who?
Mr. Scrooge.
Oh, dear, whatever made you think it might be him?
I don't know. I just think it.
What would make Mr. Scrooge take such leave of his senses suddenly?
Christmas?
Fred, is it too late to accept your invitation to dinner? Too late? I'm delighted, delighted.
My dear, look who it is.
Can you forgive a pig-headed old fool for having no eyes to see with, no ears to hear with, all these years?
Yes, you dear uncle. You've made Fred so happy. Bless you.
Dennis, poker.
Hatchet, you're late.
Sir.
What do you mean by coming in here at this time of day?
I'm very sorry, sir. I am behind my time, sir.
You are indeed. Step this way, Mr. Cratchit, please.
It's only once a year, sir. It won't be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir.
I'm sure you were. Well, we won't beat about the bush, my friend. I'm not going to stand this sort of thing any longer, which leaves me no alternative but to raise your salary.
I haven't taken leave of my senses, Bob. I've come to them. From now on, I want to try to help you to raise that family of yours. If you'll let me.
Well, we'll talk it over later, Bob, over a bowl of hot punch. Yeah. Meanwhile, you just go and put some more coal in that fire. You go straight out and buy a new coal scuttle. Isn't you do that before you dot another I, Bob Crackit? I don't deserve to be so happy. I can't help it. I just can't help it.
Scrooge was better than his word. He became as good a friend, as good a master, and as good a man as the good old city ever knew, or any other good old city, town, or borough in the good old world. And to Tiny Tim, who lived and got well again, he became a second father.
Uncle Scrooge!
And it was always said that he knew how to keep Christmas well, if any man alive possessed the knowledge. May that be truly said of us and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone.
God bless us, everyone.
And what an interesting movie it was, Jack.
So let me see if I understand you, Drake. You are the future you.
Yes.
And you came back 1 hour from the future.
Yes.
Because Jack hit the panic button, stole the scepter of Sam Hain, went to the North Pole, stole about 100 minions from Santa Claus, and transported them here to the Swashbuckler's haunt.
Yes, 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 and yes.
And that's why we broadcast at the end of the movie after skipping the middle part for some reason.
We never skipped the middle because everyone on the ship was affected, but me.
But you!
And the viewers at home had already seen the parts you missed.
When you affected time by an hour or so.
That's right.
OMG, well, if this were any other TV show, I would have changed the channel. That sounds utterly ridiculous.
But we did get to see Ebenezer Scrooge deal with his ghosts, Marley, and win back his family.
What a night! What a night!
And when time returned to its original state, the future you became the current you when time caught up with itself.
Yes, yes, yes. All is safe and sound, which for a night on this show ain't half bad and fairly unbelievable. And whatever gets me out of this Santa suit quick enough and back into me regular attire. Because next week, mateys, what a way to ring in the new year. 'Cause it ain't Christmas any longer. Next time, you scallywags, we present you with the worst movie ever made, Plan 9 from Outer Space. Or at least that's what I'm told, for our 1 year anniversary. It's hard to believe, but it's been a year. That's all next week on your weekend haunt, right here on Dead and Buried Treasures. But for now, while it's still the Christmas season, let's take a moment to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to all of our mateys out there and all of our affiliates. Our flagship station, BPTV in Bethel Park, PCTV in downtown Pittsburgh, and of course, all of Comcast. I didn't get all dressed up for nothing. See you in the new year for Dead and Buried Treasures on our Fright Network, where it's Halloween all year long. Well, except for tonight, where it's also Christmas.
Okay, I found my terrible towel, Captain. I'm ready to take us to our next destination. Is it downtown? Is it the playoff game? Oh, wait, no, we're at home. Which is it? I'm so excited.
What a night! What a night!
Why, is that snow, Captain, of all things?
I believe it is, Davy Bones.
Now it's Christmas.
What are you talking about, Jack? Who likes snow in Pittsburgh for Christmas? It's worse than scraping barnacles off the keel. We'll probably get all iced up and stuck in the lawn.
I like snow, and that means classes will be canceled.
What classes? You're on break.
Play us out, Johnny!
Hey, wait. That's my line.
Oh, sorry, Captain. My apologies.
So, before we go, mateys, just remember one thing. It's a pirate's life for me. Play us out, Johnny!
I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm Mr. Snow. I'm Mr. Icicle. I'm Mr. 10 Below. Friends call me Snow Miser. Whatever I touch turns to snow in my clutch. I'm too much.
He's Mr. White Christmas. He's Mr. Snow. He's Mr. Icicle. He's Mr. 10 Below.
Friends call me Snow Miser. Whatever I touch turns to snow in my clutch.
He's too much.
I never wanna know a day that's over 40 degrees. I'd rather have a 30, 20, 10, 5, and let it free.
He's Mr. White Christmas. He's Mr. Snow.
That's right.
He's Mr. Icicle. He's Mr. 10 Below.
Friends call me Snow Miser. Whatever I touch turns to snow in my clutch. Too much.
Too much.
Oh, Captain! Oh, Captain!
Yes, Davy Bones, what is it?
There's a man on the phone from the Carnegie Science Center who claims there are dozens of black and yellow creatures running around their lawn, singing jingle bells and making fart noises. They keep telling him they live there. How would you like to proceed with that one?
Don't miss the absolute worst in monster movie mayhem on Dead and Buried Treasures.
You know, Captain, we should be recording this.
You know, Jack, we should be recording.
This weekend and every Friday and Saturday night at 11 with our pre-show live at 10:30 on this Fright Network affiliate and our Facebook and YouTube pages, if you dare.
Is it wrong that I want their autograph?